am I? Sino nga ba ako? It's easy to get stuck in uncertainty and fear. It's been so hard for everyone this year. The present-day realities have made us believe that the future holds nothing to look forward to. Now more than ever is the time to acknowledge our multifaceted strengths. When we boldly answer, I am, to the question, who am I? We're calling out to an explosion of beautiful affirmations about ourselves that we need to be reminded of so we can move forward with our inner compass directing us towards our ultimate goal, joy. The BDJ 2022 Power Planner is an invitation to show up and trust in the soulful alignment of yourself and of your dreams. BDJ will be here with you as you intuitively recognize and continue growing your greatness.
Sometimes it feels like every time we attempt to take a step forward, we find ourselves 2 steps back. Life may seem like an uphill battle, and the past may have felt limiting. If we consider the present to be a gift, though, then it's not just about the destination, is it? For 2022, Navi will help you embrace your adaptability and resilience. Now, we don't make you imagine what this uphill staircase looks like. We show you. Take an adventure from right where you are. Explore the present as you navigate your life guided by the compass of your own truths, values, and your unique journey to where you're meant to be. Experience Navi in a whole new way.
How is everything possible in a world full of uncertainty? Imagine the moon and how it embodies inspiration, renewal, and unwavering energy. Haven't you been waiting for the right time? The time when you can finally stop feeling like a victim and start living the life that you want. It's not too late. Just as the moon transitions, you will too. And for 10 years now, the Everything is Possible Journal has been helping people achieve their big and small goals. EIP approaches 2022 with the promise of renewal. Experience the 2022 Everything is Possible Journal shine on you like the light of the moon.
Are you focusing on what really matters? Do you feel like you live in a world where distractions and interruptions seem to never end? We know you need to be free. Free your mind of clutter and still your heart. Embrace this chaos and master quieting your mind with the Focus 2022 Journal. On its 7th year, it's all about accepting all of the phases we go through in life. Picture yourself courageously blurring out what no longer serves you. Take with you only what amplifies each step toward your goal. You will get what you focus on. Start building the tomorrow you want with laser-like clarity.
Who am I? Sino nga ba ako? It's easy to get stuck in uncertainty and fear. It's been so hard for everyone this year. The present-day realities have made us believe that the future holds nothing to look forward to. Now more than ever is the time to acknowledge our multifaceted strengths. When we boldly answer, I am, to the question, who am I? We're calling out to an explosion of beautiful affirmations about ourselves that we need to be reminded of so we can move forward with our inner compass directing us towards our ultimate goal, joy. The BDJ 2022 Power Planner is an invitation to show up and trust in the soulful alignment of yourself and of your dreams. BDJ will be here with you as you intuitively recognize and continue growing your greatness.
Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. It's 2022. Happy New Year, everyone! So, kamusta? Ano bang bagong energy natin ngayong 2022? It's really a new year and we want to greet everyone with hope, wisdom, and syempre, full of abundance. So, speaking of the new year, we have new and parang every month meron talaga tayong special monthly treat for you guys. Because if in case you don't know yet, if you bought a BDJ planner, it automatically includes 12 coaching experiences led by 12 world renowned experts from various fields. Coaching is really something that BDJ believes in. So, syempre, one of the factors when we celebrated our 16th year anniversary in November, diba? And explain natin na with the BDJ planner, you're doing planning when you're journaling, that's also a different, 'di ba, perspective, yung journaling, yung pagsusulat, pagre-release. Yung coaching, iba din siya because with coaching, you're getting support in terms of parang different kinds of perspective, maybe as simple as asking you questions, iba, iba siya. And iba din when you're meditating. So, all these four pillars for BDJ, this is something that we want you guys to experience this 2022. The meditation, which you can scan when you have, when you, ano ba? Yung monthly natin. Sa calendar natin ito. Yan. So when you scan that, you will be led to an app which is the third party app. It's Quenza. It has a mobile app so you can access it via your phone, but you can also access it from your computer. You will have access to our different coaches every month. We have new content. We also have worksheets for you guys every month. Meron din tayo, syempre, yung sought after na desktop wallpaper natin sa BDJ or mobile wallpaper. It's also there. And meron din tayong meditation video that you can access. And if you have the virtual reality goggles that we started selling last year, it's still available in our website. You can actually travel in a part of the Philippines kasi each month iba-ibang location siya. So for example, you're in Batanes and you're having a meditation in the parang mountains of Batanes, 'di ba? So it's really amazing what we're trying to recreate in terms of experience. So whether you're at home in the office, you're able to travel already, pandemic or not, we hope to be able to bring different kinds of experiences for you in this BDJ Power Planner. And again, tonight we're kicking off our 12 coaching experiences for the whole of 2022. And we are starting with our one of our favorite coaches, si Coach Karel Herrera, who we call Goddess. So tinatawag siyang Goddess. So again, coaching guys is really something we believe in, and we believe kasi we need to be able to practice receiving different kinds of support with the experts that we have. It will pave the way for more purpose, clarity, encouragement, and we believe this will help us journal better, meditate better, plan our lives better. And sa totoo lang guys, one of our biggest realizations last 2021 is really that we have been so beaten up by the pandemic na parang nahirapan din tayo to desire a better life. Kasi parang feeling natin wala na tayong choice eh. Medyo hopeless, medyo we're powerless. So we want to be able to give you guys the power back. And maybe I'll share with you at the end of this uh, FB Live, baka paalala sa akin ni Coach Karel. what power means for Viviamo or BDJ. So again, reminder, guys, if you still haven't and you have your BDJ planner, please sign up in Quenza. We have a QR code so you can access all these free coaching experiences. So how to access? Scan the QR code for January, sign up, check your junk mail because some people are saying that they're not receiving the email. So please check your junk mail, watch the videos, engage in the activities, journal, and join the monthly webinar. So for today's topic, ang dami kong segue, ang dami kong sinasabi. Kasi parang I really want to be able to make sure that you guys are able to capture everything that we are offering with the BDJ 2022. So I'm so excited with you guys. I'll greet some of you. I think we have here. There is a Ma'am Doc watching from Valenzuela. Hello. We have also Irish Raimundo from Quirino Province. Hello, Bellas. Hello. Lailani from Davao City. I hope our Vismin Bellas and family and friends are safe. I know parang we were deeply affected by the Typhoon Odette. Sana you guys are sort of getting back on track. I know it's been hard. Hello, Elijah. Si Lady Len. Dumadami na. Hello. Happy New Year, Annabelle. Isabel. Ayan, si Ann, kakabila niya lang. Okay lang yan, abot yan, habol, Ann. You can do it. Clara, watching from Manila. Facebook user, you need to give permission to StreamYard so we can acknowledge and greet you. Excited for an awesome 2022. Princess, watching from Batangas. So, just received this afternoon, Shaira. I'm excited for you. And hello, watching from Valenzuela City also, Junessa. And see Maria, watching from Cebu. Ayan. So, I hope you guys are okay even if we're really in the parang what happened to us last year. So, just coming back parang are you guys feeling that parang our thoughts or our mind is a mess, 'di ba? The pandemic, it's still happening right now. We have Omicron. A lot of the people around us are starting to feel parang another round na parang, okay, here we go again. So, minsan gumugulo na rin yung thoughts natin. So, the way we think, our mind affects the brain. And it's actually really the growth, connection, how it fires up and activates during different neurological responses in terms of how we process information. And actually, this is why coaching questions actually matter because it actually helps us parang figure out new neural connections in our brains and it expands in terms of our growth. Having a positive mindset also means having positive expectation that things will turn out well and that we will succeed. It gives us more courage to try and persist lifestyle changes. But how do we really keep having this mindset, especially during uncertainties like this? So today, we're going to tackle belief blocks, overcoming the resistance for joy with our January coach, the president and CEO of Train Station Singapore, Philippines, and Hong Kong, a social and emotional intelligence coach, a neuro-linguistic uh, programming trainer, international motivational speaker, and a best-selling author of the book Captivating Communication. She is an empowerment and communications build building confidence and inspiring people through her life-changing workshops and seminars. She is a leadership organizational trainer certified in Gallup Strengths Finder as well. She went through the training in Wharton and Neuro Leadership Institution for Neuroscience and Applied Neuroscience. So guys, bigatin talaga yung coach natin for today. So I hope you guys maximize our time with her. We have this 1 hour session that I'm taking up a bit for the introduction, but I hope you guys take advantage and do catch her in the Quensa app. And of course, we have something exciting also to share in before the end of the program. So she's also known as the love guru, coaching people on love. So without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to our January coach, Coach Karel Magaliag Herrera. Hello, Coach.
Hi,
Ay, wait lang. Hello.
hello,
Hi.
amazing evening. Nakakatuwa naman yung introduction na yon, and thank you so much for having me. It is truly an honor to be here. Hello, Bellas. Maayong gabi sa mga taga Cebu, sa ating mga taga Vismin. I hope you're okay. And pwede ba mag-shout out? Kasi yung asawa ko
Let's go.
nag-comment oh, sabi niya, heard today's speaker is a beauty. Asawa
Ah.
ko po yan, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Supportive.
Dapat pa okay yan. Actually, kaya nga love guru ka Coach Karel. Kasi ayan, the husband is also messaging during the live.
Sobra, sobra yan. Maraming tao nagfo-follow sa amin sa Facebook na parang merong hashtag yung asawa ko na hashtag Life with Karel. Kasi talagang yung mga ibang tao sabi nila parang gusto lang daw nilang umupo, manood sa aming mag-uusap, tapos kumain ng chippy o kaya clover chips. Yung ganung level. Kasi at riot talaga kami mag-asawa, and a lot of people say, sana all. But yeah, it takes a lot of work to do that, and purposeful work to get the results that you want in your life. So, yeah, let's begin with that.
Agree, agree. So, kamusta naman, Coach Karel? How has I know it's just been 5 days of 2022, but how is it looking so far for you?
I had this post recently on Facebook, and I was talking about, 2021 when it started. I was not feeling that high. I was like, meh, I don't know. I was so tired 2020. Sige na lang 2021, mabuhay lang, ma-survive ko lang 'to. At least, buhay ako na walang COVID. There was no hope really, there was no spark in me. And then, this new year of 2022, when I looked up at the sky, I really felt it surging inside me, hope. I really felt it like a child. And, carrying my 2 kids, dala ko yung dalawang anak ko, at yung dalawang anak ko, one is 8, one is 3, screaming at the top of their lungs, "Happy New Year!" And I'm like, yes, it is. It is going to be a Happy New Year, even with the pending thoughts of another lockdown. But it's not as bad as when it all started. Kumbaga, when our brains already know what to expect, when our brains already know what's worse than this. Meron
Mhm.
kang sense ng feeling na, kaya yan, mas worse pa nga dati. 'Di ba? Yung parang 'pag naghirap ka sa buhay, ay mas mahirap
Yes.
yung pinagdaanan ko dati, kayang-kaya ko
Correct,
'to.
correct.
So
Oo.
there's that feeling na parang, and I guess surviving a very, very tough 2 years from 2020 to 2021, I'm very happy with 2022 so far. Parang so far so good, and what makes it so far so good is still that seed of hope. And I guess because we know that, merong silver lining kahit merong Omicron,
Yes.
there is a silver
Yes.
lining, 'di ba? And kahit na, again, sabi ko nga we survived such tough times. So
Mm-mm.
ito, kaya na natin. We've somehow figured it out. Companies have figured it out. Some of us have sort of gotten used to a couple of things na we've put in place in our lives para lang
Mhm.
mag-adapt tayo into the new normal. So, bring it on. Bring it on 2022. Yan yung feeling ko.
Yun yung feeling.
Oo.
That's very good. That's very nice actually. Sa akin naman, 2020 was better for me versus 2021. So, mas mahirap naman sa amin yung 2021. But what I'm very grateful for the end of 2021, and this is what I'm bringing this 2022, is really the feeling of acceptance that
Mm.
life has really changed, work has really changed, business has really changed. Kasi parang feeling ko yung end of 2020, parang nagkaroon tayo ng hope, or ako during that time
Mhm.
parang 'di ba tumaas yung meaning nagka-high energy
Mhm.
ng
Yes.
mga end of 2020 na matatapos na, may vaccine na next year, as in ganun, 'di ba? Parang feeling na it will go back to normal.
Yes.
But 2021, we realized, oh no, it's not really gonna go back to normal anymore. This is it. Parang there
Yeah.
will be maybe one variation of the lockdown after the other, one new variant every
Yes.
X number of months, 'di ba? So parang nagkaroon na talaga ng more acceptance na you're right, na this is the new world. This is I know a lot some people don't even like the world, the new normal, but
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
call
what
it the next
else.
normal.
The next normal. Okay. Yeah, so parang ayun. So sa akin parang yun, okay, it's really time for change. And if we have not changed enough for 2021, tutulakin pa din tayong
Right.
magbago this
Mm-mm.
2022. So
Mm-mm.
that's my take naman. So kamusta
I,
naman Coach Karel? Ay,
yes.
sorry.
Go ahead. Go
Reg-
ahead.
regarding your goals for the year, nagsiset ka ba ng mga New Year's resolution or
Oh
anything like
yeah.
that?
I'm a big fan of writing down my goals. This started probably what almost 30 years ago. I'm dating myself. 30 mga
Hindi
bata.
naman mukha.
Hindi lang
Hindi
pala,
naman
mga
mukha.
bata, more than 30 years ago. Pero promise, around 30 years ago, I chanced upon a book called The Aladdin Factor, and it was written by Mark Victor Hansen. He's the one who
Okay.
wrote
Yeah.
Chicken Soup for the Soul with Jack
Yes,
Canfield.
yes, yes,
So,
yes.
nabasa ko yung Aladdin Factor and sabi niya ron parang just dare, write down 101 wishes. And I did. I dared write down 101 wishes. And sabi niya, if you accomplish 80% of that, why not? Right? Wouldn't that be great? Compared to not
Yes.
having anything at all. And
Correct, correct.
that's when it began, the I think, it was also written in the Bible, so it was written, so it shall be done. So I guess I believe in
Yes,
that. Na
correct.
parang, sige, write it down. And true enough, down to how much salary I'm going to get a month, down to the kind of house I want, down to everything. Pati anong klaseng
Wishes
engagement
talaga.
ring ang gusto ko, pati anong itsura ng engagement ring. All of those things I dare to write down. Now, meron siyang condensed version, and I just wanna share this with people because it's
Go,
very
go, go.
important to be very specific about what you write down. So, meron akong nilagay na wish and this was back in 2009. And at that point, nag-wish ako na, magkaroon ako ng magandang kotse, luxury car yung nilagay ko dun. Nilagay ko pa yung tatak. Tapos sabi ko, gusto ko, ito simple lang, sana naman ma-achieve ko 'to, 3 liters of water a day kasi meron akong sakit nun sa kidneys. And then the other one, gusto ko magkaroon sa ATM ko ng, 10 million. Gusto ko yung ATM, 10 million kasi ibig sabihin nun marami akong savings. Ano ko, liquid kaya meron akong 10 million sa
10 million sa
ATM, 'di ba?
ATM. Wow.
It was so funny because I checked that list sometime in September. I started the list in January, the 3 wishes for my year. And then by September, when I looked at it, ay, nakaka 3 liters na ako ng water. Check, di ba? And right before that, like a month before, I bought my luxury car. I bought my
Wow.
very first luxury car. So I'm like, yeah, check, yan. Sabi ko, ay, wala akong 10 million. And sa totoo lang, ang nasa ATM ko nun, 50,000 pesos. Promise, 50,000 pesos lang yung pera ko sa ATM. So sabi ko, asa pa talaga na may 10 million. Pero okay lang, 2 out of 3, why not? So pumunta ako
Correct, correct.
eto, nasa plane ako while I was checking. I was in an airplane. I was going to Indonesia because I had a training in Indonesia. So, pagdating ko ng Indonesia, withdraw ko. Pag withdraw ko sa ATM, guess what? Guess magkano
10
yung
million
meron
sa
akong 10 million
Indonesia.
rupiah. Talagang yung point na yun, umiiling talaga ako. Sabi ko, ang galing-galing naman, hindi kasi specific. Sabi ko kasi
Oo,
10
hindi mo
million.
naman sinabing pesos or dollars.
Sana pala 'no, gano'n ako ka-specific.
Oo.
So, kamot ulo and from then on, I started becoming more specific, writing things down, taking note of what I really want, elaborating it so that, I really know. And my brain, when you write it down, your brain somehow, um, nagkakaroon tayo ng selective attention. So,
Agree.
'di ba,
Yes. Go.
nagpe-pay attention ka, "Uy, opportunity 'to. Uy, ayan." Paano 'pag tinanong ka, "Anong problema mo?" Biglang kita mo agad, ang dami kong problema. Pero 'pag tinanong ka, "What are you hopeful for?" Oo nga 'no. All of a sudden,
Pwede.
that
Possibilities. Correct.
connection, yes.
Correct. Definitely. Definitely it's so important for us to yun yung ano eh, 'di ba, the logic of law of attraction. The law of
Mhm.
attraction, it's biological. It's not just parang all this woo, all of these things. Kasi yun
Mhm.
nga, as you said, when you activate the neurons in your brains and you're telling yourself that this is what I want, then suddenly
Yeah.
nagkakaroon ka talaga ng selective vision.
Yeah, and
So,
neuroscience to ha, like, I challenge people here, you can go to YouTube, look for the gorilla or find the gorilla video on YouTube. Because it's so funny that they would show this video and you would not see the gorilla if you're not primed to pay attention and look for that gorilla. Meron silang parang test doon na the people will pass the ball how many times, count how many times they would pass the ball. So syempre, you pay attention to how many times people are passing the ball, but you would not pay attention to the other things that are present in the video. So it's really framing your mind on what you're going to pay attention to. And what you pay attention to drives your actions. When I pay attention to the anger of my husband, for example, it drives me towards an action. If I pay
correct,
attention to a blessing, then it drives me to, an action of, saying a gratitude prayer. If I pay
correct,
attention to my son screaming, what is my action based on that? So be mindful of what you would want to pay attention to each day. And that's framing your mind or setting your mind ready for that kind of an intention.
correct. There's this quote that I also like related to that. Whatever you focus on expands.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, ano
Definitely.
talaga niya. It's
Pansinin mo 'di
very
ba pagka nag-focus ka sa problema lumalaki siya.
yes.
'Di ba? Lumalaki yung problema ko kasi dun ka lang nakatingin, focus ka sa solution. Kaya
Correct,
honestly,
correct.
Dar, that's how I treated 2021. When it was there, it's like, "Okay, tama, this is the next normal." Actually, when the pandemic hit, it was like, in 2020, it was like, "Oh, and then what?" Kasi my business is live training. It's face-to-face
Correct.
training.
Yeah.
It's face-to-face coaching. So, and then what? What can be done? So, people are throwing at me things that cannot be done. No, that can't be done. No, that's not possible. So, what is possible? So, I've always been trained to be like that. Growing up, I guess, from a family that is not very wealthy, you're trained to be creative. Na wala ka nito, anong gagawin mo? Wala kang happiness, paano ka hahanap ng happiness, 'di ba? Wala kang kakainin, anong gagawin mo para kumain ka? So, that I think is the "and then what" mindset. And, I think very important for anyone to survive a crisis. It's like, "Okay, there's a crisis, and then what? And then what?" Now, you were saying a while ago that, people you were asking me also about what w- um what makes me achieve things. It's that mindset, that and then what is possible, what is next. And it's not just anymore about um pivoting or
Mhm.
'di ba, it's not that it's really endurance. Right now, buong 2021 napagod ka sa kaka-pivot so ito talaga, endure, you have to know how to endure. And there has to be ways for us to know how to endure things better so that we can have that
Yes.
joy,
Correct.
claim that joy.
Yeah, so perfect transition, Coach Karel, to our topic today. Kasi yun nga, the theme for BDJ Power Planner for the month of January is I am joyful. So, new year, new dreams, and we want to be able to allow the true wisdom within each of us to guide us. So, and we believe that, yun, we find that happy, light, kilig feeling. So, Coach Karel, what
Mhm.
brings you joy?
Oh my goodness. Um, it's like my cup overflows when I talk about joy because of course, I have a wonderful husband na nandito ko pa ba my lab, but I do have a great relationship with my husband. I have two wonderful kids. My two kids are adopted, by the way. And it was, if
Mm,
you would look at that from the "and then what" mindset, I've had 6 miscarriages. And then what? And then what? I want to be a mother. And how
yeah.
can I give, joy and, that kind of abundance and love to two human beings that would be a part of our lives. So it comes from that. So, the smile of these two wonderful, beautiful children. Ah, it's my joy. My joy is my team, my company. My joy is my purpose. And that I
Mhm.
live each day knowing that ginagamit ako. Gamit na gamit. I like that. Gamit na gamit ako. Ang sarap ng feeling na gano'n. Yung paggising mo, pagtulog mo, yung gitna nun, gamit na gamit ka. Nakakapagod, yes, pero gamit na gamit ka. And those are the things that give me joy. So the reason why I say my cup overflows, kasi promise, kahit chicken, nagbibigay sa akin ng joy. Alam mo yun, yung kakagat ako ng manok, sarap na 'tong manok na 'to, wow, joy. Cheese with my husband and grapes, ooh, gives me joy. I think it's because it's coming from that concept of savoring.
Savoring. Ang
I
ganda. I
love
love that word. Yeah.
yes, yes.
Ganda.
So,
Mhm.
actually, I like what, I'm seeing here on the chat box. Meron si Irish Joy, sabi niya, "More on me time this year because I neglected
Mhm.
myself for how many years because I thought it's okay to prioritize other people than myself." I was doing that. I was always serving, motivating others, pre-pandemic. I'm like, "Rock the house, let's do this. May sales rally kayo, kami. Meron kayo empowerment, kami. Kick off." Ganyan, ganun yung energy ko. Tapos uuwi ako ng bahay, ubus na ubus yung energy ko. Ay Lord, bakit pagod na pagod? Darating sa point na ma-o-ospital ka dahil sa pagod. So that right now, with what the pandemic did is it really stopped me. It said, "Hey, pati kliyente mo walang ginagawa, wala lahat. So girl, tumahimik ka muna."
Relax, relax muna.
And promise, hindi to sa a lot of people would say, "Ay, sana all, buti ka pa." But I've had the most healthy mindset, mental and emotional state during the pandemic. And it's because I have set the habits for me to be joyful during the pandemic. And I kept on practicing it. Tama yung sabi ni Irish Joy, more of me time. Sige, punuin natin. Kasi paano ako magbibigay in this pandemic for people na kailangan kong pagsilbihan, clients that we have to train and motivate, clients I have to coach. How do I do that if I'm depleted? So hindi pwede. Talagang girl, hindi pwede. You have to make yourself, overflow with that kind of joy so that you can infect others with it. So that was the journey. And that's what brings me joy.
So since you mentioned that, that's very interesting. Set habits for joy. What habits did you set up for joy?
Oy, okay, let me Kasi dati ano tayo, eh, ladies and gentlemen, Bellas, kaya ko hinahawakan yung hair ko kasi ano tayo, eh, parang habits are like hair like strands. Kapagka ginawa mo yan minsan, hindi yan malakas. But if you keep on doing it over and over and over and over again, it becomes so thick that that bond is just so unbreakable. So, prior to the pandemic, as I've said kanina, it's always an autopilot. What is being demanded of me, I give. But when I started incorporating self-care more into my habits, I utilize a lot of positive psychology. So I utilize the PERMA model, which is
Yes,
founded by
familiar.
Dr. Martin Seligman, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I utilize that. Yung if there is something that's happening to me, what positive emotion can I look at? It's not just
Mm-hmm.
jumping up and down. Joy doesn't mean that, right? It's not like, "Oh, I'm so on fire." Hindi siya gano'n, guys, na parang, "Woohoo, happy." Hindi siya gano'n. Joy can be coming from gratitude, coming from learning, pride. Like, I've had COVID. Was there hope in the midst of COVID? Is there serenity in the midst of this pandemic? Is there, a learning? So I had to really learn that whenever I am faced with a situation, the habit is, what positive thing can I see here? So that's one. No, the second is to really put in my journal things that I enjoy doing. Set a schedule for that. And if your work is busy every day, you really have to put, like, kunyari, sunod-sunod yung meetings ko. Nakalagay talaga yung 5-minute habits ko of what I'm going to do. Like, hug my kids, tickle them, aamuin ko yung kilikili ng anak ko. As in, talaga, promise. As in, yung 8-year-old ko, "Mom," pag nakikita niyang pagod ako at marami akong ginagawa, "Mom, smell me. May ganyan siya. So, magpapa-smell siya ng kilikili yan, and I love how that is. So, I engage in fun activities. Like, I don't know if you'd see, I have a painting behind me. I paint by numbers, even if it's like, what, 20 minutes of my day that I do something that is creative. Then, I put in my schedule really connection time with my husband, relationship. So I have my K-drama with my husband, and then kakain kami ng midnight snack namin, or not before midnight snack namin. Um, or we would just laugh. As in talagang joke time talaga kaming dalawa. So tawa na kami ng tawanan. And it's very important to write down your meaning. I like what you said about I am joy kasi, because it's impersonation. It's personifying, rather, not
Personal.
impersonation.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
personifying.
Personifying.
Oo
Yeah.
eh. And I like the quote here. I'll just read from the everything is possible ano. I really love this quote here about it's about who you are. Where's that? Yeah. We do not attract what we want, but what we are. What we
Yes.
are. So it has to be clear. What are you? I am
Mm.
what? Yeah, I am joy. Then if you are joy, eh nagnenega-negahan ka ba lagi? Lagi ka bang complainer? Lagi ka ba nagtsitsismis? Lagi ka bang, pagka meron nangyayari, "Ay naku, di ko na 'to kaya." Kasi kung joy ka, that's not what is supposed to do. It's not invalidating the sadness, okay? You can say, "Yes, I am going through sadness right now, and is there something I can learn here?
Mm-hmm.
And is there something I need here? Do I need nurture so that I can find that space back into a positive emotion?" So those are the habits that I've formed, the PERMA. And of course, in the end, it's acknowledging achievements. So kahit na maliit yan, yung sinesavor ko nga na manok na kinakain ko kasama yung asawa ko, or dinuguan na dinner namin, savor those moments. And because I kept on practicing that every day, believe it, every day, I have to put something there on my planner on what will make me joyful. And even write down after, when I journal, I write down what made me happy today. And it's really, guided by, I don't know if you are aware of your strengths. Usually it's guided by your strengths eh. Yung, ito yung mga bagay that keeps me alive. So I purposefully make sure that what I do each day will have PERMA, or will target positive emotions, will target engagement, relationships, meaning, and achievements. And also to make sure that my strengths are in action every day.
Galing, galing. I really love that. I love that prompt. What made me happy today? Napaka-important, guys. I will just plug very quickly yung we introduce a new journaling group. So it's called Journaling with Intention. So our goal with this Facebook group is just to encourage each other to journal. Ipapasok ko to. What made me
Yes.
happy today? Kasi
Yes.
sometimes you just need a bit of these kinds of triggers.
Mhm.
So if you guys need a bit of support in terms of journaling for your mental health, for your goals, for empowerment, whatever your intention is, please do join us in Journaling with Intention. And of
Mhm.
course, this coaching experience that we have with Coach Karel and the rest of the coaches, we have an exclusive group. Once you've signed up with Quenza, you'll be invited to join the Facebook group so you can interact with each other and share more about our coaching experiences. So I love that you use like the PERMA model nga eh. Yeah, it's really something simple,
Mhm.
but I really love that line what you said. What made me happy today? Kasi sometimes nga when we ask the question, what brings you joy? Some people don't know.
Mhm.
Siguro yung parang baka sa sobrang daming problema or sobrang ang nag-focus sa mga challenges and problems, 'pag
Mm.
tinanong mo, "So, ano nagpapasaya sa'yo?" Tapos the person will like feel stumped
Hmm.
because it's not something they normally think about. Na
Mhm.
parang, "Shocks, oo nga." And then they realize that they're unhappy with their lives, right? So,
Yes.
I think this journal prompt, this question is perfect.
And it's
So, if
very
you're
important. It's very
Yeah, it's
important,
very
Dar.
important.
Like
Yeah.
when you said that you have this Facebook group for journaling, that is very important na for you to have a community of people. Kasi when you share also your joy, it gets multiplied. And when you share your sadness, it gets divided. So imagine there's that mathematical equation to it. So yeah, why
Correct,
not?
correct. Nice. Sabi ni Che De Jesus, meron daw siya before, smile notebook, and I scribble down the moments that made me smile that day.
Mm. That's true kasi like you said a while ago, bakit marami ring tao na 'pag tinanong mo yung joy, hindi sila agad makasagot? Because that is primarily the function of the brain. Okay, magpapaka-brain geek ulit ako ngayon kasi yung brain natin, ang una niyang trabaho is to keep us alive. Gusto niya
Yes.
mag-survive ka, 'di ba? So, sine-scan niya yung environment kung merong threat. So, kapag yung tao na ito or isang bagay na 'to ay naging threatening or naging painful sa'yo, hindi niya 'yan makakalimutan. Para hindi na maulit, 'di ba? Yun yung nangyayari
Correct,
madalas sa
correct,
brain.
correct.
And we go towards pleasure. Now, why is it that also because of that function, ang nangyayari sa utak natin, para siyang Velcro to negative emotions, and the brain is like Teflon to positive ones. Kay that's scientific. Kaya mas effort maging mas positive. Kaya
Mas
e-effortan mo
effort.
siya. E-effortan mo talaga. Work, guys. So, when people say, "Bakit ang saya ng relationship niyo ng asawa mo, bakit nga?" Work. Purposeful work talaga siya na gagawin mo yung habits that will give you those results. So,
Mhm.
and when people say, "It's so hard. Why is it so hard to be joyful?" Like, I wake up today, I wanna be joyful. I wrote it down on my planner, but I woke up today and it sucks. Why? Why does that feel like that? So marami talagang mga tao, and I get it, and I say to them, what I get those days. I get those days.
Yeah.
And going back to the brain, um, and the title, no, resistance ng brain natin to joy. The brain
Mhm.
has that, yeah, because minsan kasi confused yung brain with the pleasure and pain. So yun, nako-confuse si brain sa pleasure and pain. Meaning, meron tayong so yung iba na tao, nasaktan na ako, pero bakit gano'n? Palagi na lang ako na end up in a relationship na lagi akong sinasaktan. May gano'ng pattern.
Yes.
Alam na nilang mali,
Correct, correct.
alam na nilang
Correct.
masama. Pero kasi meron silang, ang tawag namin do'n secondary gain. May pleasure siyang nakukuha do'n, somehow. And it's like sometimes you go deeper into it, some are addicted to the roller coaster ride.
Correct.
There's pleasure in the highs and the
My
lows.
thrill.
May thrill yung pain. Oh,
Mhm.
'di ba merong gano'n, 'di ba? And
Oo.
and confuse si brain ulit. Paano na-confuse si brain? Kasi yung pleasure of being free from that man or that woman who's hurting you, the pleasure of that is in the future, 'di ba? Pero hindi ko siya
Correct.
ma-let go now. Bakit?
Mhm.
Kasi mas matindi yung pain na, kung mawala. Yung fear of
Mm.
being alone, that
Yes, the fear
one
of being alone. Correct.
outweighs the pleasure of that better future. So, it
Yes.
it's really FOMO, fear
Correct,
of
correct.
missing out. So, we have that
I
bias.
correct. Yun nga yung sinasabi, parang that's the other thing eh, na parang sometimes the future feels so far away. So that's why you want to make decisions for the present. Eh minsan, lalo nagiging mas far away yung better
Yes,
future
yes,
because parang your present is sort of like blocking out talaga yung parang the possibility of a beautiful future. And sobrang tama yun na yung sinasabi mo na parang people confuse it. Kasi parang ako personally, I'll just share a quick about my experience. Parang, when we were growing up, parang there's the Romeo and Juliet, diba? That's the parang
mm,
the manifestation of true love, that parang you die for each other, that us against the world, 'di ba? It sounds so romantic.
yeah,
So na-realize ko, parang in my first few relationships talaga, that was like subconsciously a limiting belief that I have. To make
Mhm.
sure that this love is real, we need to be against the world.
Mhm. Yep,
Na
yep.
parang for this to be like true love, kailangan medyo ganun yung
Kailangan may
peg.
pain.
Oo, kailangan may pain. Kung wala siyang ganong pain, ibig sabihin it's not true love, 'di ba? So,
Oo.
I think that's really a big issue on parang the confusion of pain and pleasure, na parang there's a validation of that
Hmm,
pain and actually it gives you pleasure. Siguro yung mga
exactly.
in a toxic relationship na parang minsan you're getting hurt and then 'di ba major bawi minsan yung guy or the
Mhm.
partner, right? And some women parang like na, kasi binibigyan na naman ako ng ganito pag parang nagso-sorry siya or whatever and all of these things. So parang yun yung nangyayari. I guess you're right. It's really
Mm.
a mix up of all these signals and tuloy
And stories.
na-attract natin.
Exactly.
Na-attract ulit natin.
These are narratives. These are stories that have been ingrained in us, and because of these stories that we believe to be real, that's that's how we expect love to be. Ang ganda, by the way, Dar, look at the comment. No? Meron sinabi si Caitlin Marlowe. I love this. Joe Mo. I love that. The joy of missing out. I love it kasi if I will say no to this, that is thing that is bad for me, will there be joy coming from it?
And
'Di ba? In
missing
the
out.
future, 'di
Yes.
ba? I'll
Oo.
say no to this chip. Chip talaga eh. Chips. Or I'll say no to this to this bad relationship. And then what can I say yes to each day that can give me more pleasure in the long run? Right now it's not going to be so pleasurable like go working out or
Mhm.
showing up for work. Sometimes
Mm.
it's not going to be so pleasurable, but there is that commitment to just keep on showing up. And when you show up,
Yes.
it's gonna be a difference already in your trajectory than compared to not showing up, right?
Correct, correct,
So
correct.
there is joy in just keeping on showing up, guys.
Mhm.
And when I would tell stories about David and Goliath, there's this favorite story of mine from the Bible, and it's about David slaying Goliath. And there's this giant, right? And this boy slayed this giant with his stones. And and if you are going to think of that courage to show up, it's really what David did. He showed up. He would not slay that Goliath without showing up. So that's what
Correct,
I always
correct.
tell people, you show up for 2022. I showed up for 2021, man. We slayed. So we
Yes,
slayed the
correct.
giant, because we had the courage to show up. So just keep on showing up. And one of my trainers, her name is Gold Soon. So one of my trainers in train station, she said to me, Karel, you know what? The way I see Goliath, like a lot of people are so scared that he's too big to defeat. But you know how David saw him? He's too big not to
Not to
miss.
miss. Yes, I saw that. Oo. I got
Right?
that person. Galing, no? Oo.
So it's so amazing. I love that when I also plan kasi I also show up for myself. When I write
Yes,
things down,
exactly.
'di ba? I'm showing up for me. This is my time. I call it my PPP in the morning, which is to plan, to pray, and to pump up. So meron akong three things in the morning.
Nice. Sulat ko yan.
Yes, PPP. Or you can have your own permutation of PPP.
Oo, yeah. Nice, very
At ano yan,
oo,
naka-playlist yan, guys. May playlist din 'yan. Kasi kailangan may visual ako,
may mi
sinusulat ko.
and oo, you activate as many of your senses as possible. Para you
Mhm.
activate talaga more neurons in your hand and then yun, you'll really attract all those things. Galing, nice, nice.
Yes, yes.
Plan, pray, and pump up. Ayan, meron pa. Ano pa? Ano ba yung typical belief blocks ng mga tao when it comes to parang being joyful? Or like, siguro if you encounter someone who feel like parang, wala eh, life is hard talaga eh. So, Are we really meant to be happy? Yung mga ganung tao na parang wala, life is hard. Yung parang ganun yung mindset nila.
Oh, well, even the Dalai Lama says that there's really pain. There is pain. That's what life is all about. But it doesn't mean that if there is pain, you suffer.
Mm-mm.
There are people who have pain in their lives, but they're not suffering. And there are people who do not have that much pain in their life, but they're suffering. So it's really, I really encounter people who would say to me, life is hard. Yes, it is. It's meant to be that way. But what is hard? What is that toughness or that difficulty doing for you? It's teaching you something. So when
Mm,
you, it, it's really a shift of mindset. It's really reframing. So when I coach people like that, I ask them, what's hard? What's hard for you? What's difficult? And compared to the people that I coach who are in Marawi, who had to face a
correct.
war, compared to the
Yes.
people that I had to coach in Tacloban for Yolanda, or compared to the people who had to experience rape and addiction and all
Yes.
of that. I mean, what
Mm-mm.
is hard? Hard is very subjective, you know. And it's not that we're we're not looking at the hardness of life. I'm facing that. But how do I see it? It's my teacher. It's my teacher. The tough times, they're my teacher. So that's one belief. Yes, people think that life is hard. So what? How does it make it
Mm-hmm.
tough? The other belief is that is tougher to overcome is the fear of failure. That fear of failure. Now, what if I don't make it? What if I try? What if I write things down and journal everything, and in the end things don't happen?
Nothing will happen. Yeah, yeah. Correct.
It's not gonna happen. And yeah, I have encountered a lot of that, and as I've said,
Mm-hmm.
in my 100 wishes, not all of them come true, but I have 80. So
Correct. Correct.
yeah, so
Correct.
I
Yeah.
rejoice for the 80. And I also Cito Beltran interviewed me, a couple of months ago, and he said, "Carol, you keep throwing the punches. You keep throwing the punches, and like 10 times, 8 out of 10 times, it doesn't work." So
Mm-hmm.
what do you say to people so that they can find hope and happiness amidst, all of those trying times that their businesses are failing, lahat ng ginagawa nila, yung trabaho nila nanganganib. What do you say? And I said, what if the two works? What if the two punches that you do, what if they work? What if they're brilliant? And my husband always tells me that my father-in-law has been telling him ever since he was a boy, "You throw your punches. Again, show up,
Yeah.
throw your punches, may maglaland dyan." Pero kung hindi ka okay, if you're not physically, mentally, emotionally okay, yung punches mo ganyan lang, hindi malakas. Pero pagka okay ka emotionally, mentally, mas malakas yung sapak mo. The punches that you throw at life will be much stronger. So, yeah, the fear of failure and for me, the other one is also miswanting. There is a study on psychology, and we talk about miswanting, and that is when you want something so much and then you get it, and then you feel like, ito na ba yun? So like, I really want this bag. You got the bag? Okay. Or I want to get promoted. You get promoted, yay. After a few months, meh. I wish I get into this university. After a while, you're in that university,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, meh, take it for granted. So
Mm-hmm.
that's miswanting. Yung like that feeling of you get you desire to be on Everest so much that when you're on top of Everest, you're like, top of the mountain. Okay. So um what can we do to trump miswanting? Kasi ano yan tendency yan ng brain. Bias natin yan. It exists in our brain. And because we adapt to so many things. So that's why having goals or wishes sometimes don't seem so appealing na to other people. Yung having that objective, that wish, wala. Bakit? Ilang beses na ako nag-wish, wala naman nangyari. Or, nung nakuha ko, meh. So, how do we now utilize this brain of ours so that we can solidify um, these goals or these desires? Or how do we overcome miswanting? Pwede nating i-overcome yon. And I've mentioned a while ago savoring, because that is a surefire way to overcome miswanting. Again, going back to the bag, pag nakuha mo yung bag, oh my God, my bag, smell it. What does it mean to me? This bag means what? Success in life. So you can savor anything that is tangible with something that is intangible, so that it means so much more. Going back to the purpose. What was this for anyway? What was this car for anyway? It's not just because of the car, but it takes my family where I want to be. It shows it's proof of my hard work, and savor it. Namnamin mo. So, yon ang kasagutan sa mga taong may mga beliefs minsan na like fear. Pag meron kang maliit na achievement, namnamin mo yun. Pagka
Namnamin.
meron, namnamin. Mahilig.
Namnamin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Important. Sabi ko, I think personally natatamaan ako doon. Hindi ko masyado
Oh,
ninanamnam. Oo, yeah. Mm-mm.
and it's, oh my goodness. Be growing up negative, growing up in a negative environment, growing up in a negative background, hindi rin ako ganyan. Yung parang pagka merong masayang tao, ako pa yung nagdadampen nun. Ako yung, "Masaya ka 'te, ba't ka masaya girl?" Ako yung gano'ng noong unang panahon, 30 years ago. Pero I swear, right
Grabe
now,
naman, unang panahon.
nung unang panahon. Pero promise ngayon, like I make that extra effort. Kasi your brain will have a tendency to adapt. Ang tawag natin dito sa psychology is hedonic adaptation. May term, hedonic adaptation. Kasi sanay na sanay ka na dito na wala na siya ng thrill. 'Di ba? Nung love na love mo yung crush mo, yung parang, "Oh my God!" Kindatang ka lang, kinikilig ka. Meron lang bigay sa'yong flowers, ay naku, tumatumbling ka na. Eh, nung naging jowa mo, o sige, kinikilig ka pa rin. Eh, nung asawa mo na after 10 years, 'di ba?
Mhm.
Wala ng tumbling. Kaya talagang I swear, when my husband gives me a cup of coffee, I have to make extra effort to say, "Oh, thank you, coffee, my husband loves me, display of love." I have to do that. Kung hindi, I will take for granted the beautiful things that he's doing for me every day, which makes me such a lucky, blessed woman. Or my kids. Again, naiiyak ako, pero just the smile of my kids. I really just pause and breathe that in. I stare. I swear to God, I stare. And I will hold their hand, or I will touch my little girl's curls. And I will savor that moment, because how long will she be 3? You
Mhm.
know, in a wink of an eye, she'll be a grown up woman. And let me savor this, because this is my joy.
Ganda.
Iyak naman ako.
I super get what you're talking about in terms of kids. I feel like parang kasi ako, to be honest, like I share this with the Bellas, and I'm sharing it because I don't mind having this conversation with my daughters. Like before getting married, and even just when I got married, we never planned to have kids. And then one of the things is I have one ovary lang. Because I
Mm.
had like a parang cysts in my ano. So parang sinabi rin sa akin ng OB when I got married na there are slim chances that you're gonna get pregnant, so don't need for any kind of birth control. Kasi sabi ko nga, I don't think I'm ready to have kids. Tapos bigla, yun, I got married and then no need for birth control.
Woohoo!
In 3 months, I got pregnant. And it was funny pa kasi like even my barkada was like, should we be happy? Parang gano'n. Kasi alam ng mga tao, alam talaga ng friends ko, parang my position, parang I remember having this discussion with my husband na dinks, double income, no kids. Yun yung
Yes, yes,
dinks, di ba? So,
dinks.
okay, that's our goal. We'll be dinks, ganyan, and then we'll just do
Yeah.
this and that. But iba rin yung transformation of having kids. I know
Yes.
it's such a cliche,
Yeah.
and I have no regrets. And for me nga, this pandemic, parang what was really bringing me joy and was giving me more energy to move forward is really the kids. And as you said, parang iba yung eyes nila, the way they see the world, how they greet the Happy New Year, how they get excited with the little things in life. Like what you're saying about savoring parang the mundane things. It's really such a great reminder of being alive, being human, 'di
Mhm.
ba? Kasi parang I think as an adult parang nadadala na talaga tayo with the problems or nadadala tayo na ito kasi dapat, ito sabi sa atin ng society, ito yung sabi ng mga ganito. So, it's really very refreshing seeing the world in the eyes of the child.
Oh, yes. Definitely. Ha, ang gaganda ng mga comments ng mga tao, I like ano yan, I like the word savoring, like smelling my new BGJ plan. I do that with my
Oo.
books, my planner, I love it. And I would like to acknowledge what Mikay Javier says here. Maybe I don't savor my achievement,
Ayan,
that's
yan,
why I
yan.
feel like my
Correct,
success is not
correct.
enough. Very true. And ito lang, like kunyari, naka-finish ka ng presentation or ng PowerPoint or typing something. Right after that, you can go and say, yeah, alam mo yun, why not? Finished it. Or do a dance of joy. And tama, it's a choice. And I put it in place. Like, my savoring moments are usually lunch and dinner because that is time for my family wherein we eat together because of the work from home. But when I have my schedule of each day, I have my focus sprints, right? Like I work for like 90 minutes straight without distractions, and everyone knows that in
Mm.
this house. So I work for 90 minutes. Pero in between that, talagang anong gagawin mo in 5 minutes for your break in between the 90-minute workloads and savoring. Talagang if I'm
Savoring.
done, savor. Whenever
Mhm.
I'm done with
If
this,
done.
savor. It can be music, it can be dancing by yourself. I was playing I've Got the Power this morning. I've got the power. Nagsasayaw lang ako dito ng ilang seconds. It was tawa lang ako ng tawa na I'm just doing that and walang basagan ng trip.
Yeah, correct, correct, yeah.
Kung yun yung magpapabigay sa'yo ng energy, why not guys, di ba? So, yun yung mga,
Mm.
yun yung mga things that I do to overcome my brain's resistance because if my brain says, I don't want to do that, it's too long, it's too tough. What? Read a book? What? Exercise? My gosh, 20 seconds na yumugyug ka lang. It sets your brain in motion. What if I put in my schedule a 5-minute me time break all throughout the day? All throughout the day. And make it like, talagang commitment mo talaga yon. That break that you'll have and then put in your ideas of what you want to do for those 5-minute breaks. Already
Mhm.
put down in your notes or in your to-do list that in one 5-minute break, I'll dance, I'll pray, I'll meditate, I'll play with my kids, I'll, talk to my husband. And I guess, if I may, being in a group, being in a Facebook group, having a coaching community as well, or a journaling community, it helps when you talk to people who are like-minded. Na, I was having dinner with my husband. We own the company, so we own train station. So siya rin yung
Correct, correct.
usapan ko sa ganitong insights. And while we were eating, he's like, look at the people in this restaurant. And in that restaurant, dadalawa na lang yung empleyado. And he's like, it's really not a joke, no, that we're still alive. It's not a joke that our
Correct.
company is still surviving in this pandemic. Ang galing, no, na nabalik na natin yung sweldo ng tao. Yung meron akong ganung
Yes.
support
Correct.
system for
Mhm.
gratitude. So, yeah, find your
Mhm.
tribe who would
Mhm.
do that with you and for you. And
Correct.
that can multiply your joy.
Sobra. I can super relate to that kasi parang it's really so easy to go down the rabbit hole na you feel depressed, you parang languishing is in the air and then you can see all the problems. If you don't have people to remind you na, ay, pwede pala akong mag-figure out how to get out of this or pwede, may hope pala, may possibility pala na ganito. I can look at things in different perspectives.
Mhm,
It's really just so easy to go down the rabbit hole.
mhm.
And I think I agree with you completely na that's why we set up the community also kasi we want to be able to be there for each other, especially at these times na parang
Mm.
we're more parang I guess more in touch with whatever emotions that we have kasi parang wala, new environment eh. Siyempre 'pag may biglang new environment, everything changes. Parang you feel like you're in a way off track, 'di ba?
Mm. Mhm.
So, parang it start and because you're off track, our bodies and our minds to be able to adapt, as you shared earlier, needs to sense things again. And
Mhm.
that's why when we need to sense things again, high intensity yung feelings minsan, 'di ba?
Mhm.
Because of all the changes and having like-minded people, having a support group, having people like reminding you parang what are the different possibilities or different perspectives can really help you get out of it. So, thank you so much. Coach
Yes, yes.
Karel,
Thank
sobrang
you.
galing. Ang dami kong natutunan from you.
Diretso na
Hindi,
madaldal
sorry,
talaga
short
ako.
lang. Hindi, sobrang perfect. And, ayan guys, before we go, kasi we're nearing at the end, where we need to be able to wrap up. So, definitely, I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did this conversation, this beautiful conversation with Coach Karel. And if you want to continue on learning from her, please do remember to scan the QR code in your BDJ planners. Yan. So you can access the videos that Coach Karel has prepared for you guys. And at the same time, meron din tayong extra worksheets there. So you can help process and become or just embody the beingness of I am joy for this month of January. And I'll give a special announcement and Coach Karel will share more about it because if nabitin kayo and ako bitin ako for tonight and I'm sure kulang pa din yung yung video natin and the Quenza app, we have a
Mhm.
special January 29 session with Coach Karel from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. So this is an exclusive paid webinar wherein you can get a one-on-one coaching experience with our Brain Strong coach, Coach Karel. So, and definitely meron pang additional worksheets kasi sometimes yung mga ganito, you need an intimate interaction. Kasi
Yes.
ito 'di ba parang nagko-comment lang tayo. Thank you guys pala sa mga nagko-comment sa comment section. We really appreciate it. Nafi-feel namin may kausap kami ni Coach Karel. But yeah, 'di ba parang being able to really just share your thoughts in a safe space. So it will be an exclusive Zoom call. Um please do this is a sign up. Siyempre,
Mhm.
pa-copy and paste na lang. Ayla in our chat and then maybe share in our social media channels. A Bitly link so it's easier for our team or our Bellas to be able to sign up. So, but Coach Kirel, can you share a bit more on what they can expect from you on January 29, 10 a.m. to 12 noon
I
for
think
additional coaching?
oh, yes. So, I am excited for January 29 and seeing how everyone is here with a lot of questions na parang, shucks, gusto natin 'tong sagutin right about now, but we're running out of time. So, for January 29, yes, it's going to be a live session and I'm going to be on a Zoom call with people who would sign up. So, please do if you think this has been useful, there are many more things that we would like to share there. There are a lot of hows because I'm a woman of science. I'm that kind of person. When people say to me, "Go towards the light, find your happiness, find your purpose," I'm like, how now, brown cow? Ganun ako. So, and all of my all of the discoveries and ways to override the brain's resistance, yung mga habits that have been formed for so many years na gusto mong i-overcome, na gusto mo lang magkaroon ng, "Okay, papaano ko babaguhin yon? How do I make it easy for the brain?" Because our brain is a high resistance pathway. Matigas talaga ang ulo natin. hindi ko na kailangan ulit-ulitin yun, alam natin yan. Kung may anak kayo, alam niyo ang ibig sabihin. Kung may asawa kayo, alam na alam niyo ang ibig sabihin nun. Because the mind is a high resistance pathway and our brains are set as systems to do so. So, are there hacks? I don't like calling it hacks, but are there, you know, or rerouting? Meron bang other ways to overcome these things that will stop us from being more joyful, from being better, from having more into our lives? So we will provide you with the house. We will give you a couple of steps on what can we do, what can be done. So be ready with a learning mindset and an open heart and mind so that you can truly imbibe joy and be joy.
Galing, galing, ganda. I'm excited to be there in January 29, 10 to 12 noon, guys. So please save the date, write it down in your planners. And
Mhm.
please do check it out. Sign up in the Google form because we need to be able to give you more details in terms of that. And so we're excited. And please catch us again next month for the continuation for our BDJ Studio coaching series. So guys, don't forget, please scan the code if you're watching us. You have a BDJ planner and you have not scanned the code. If you have any trouble in terms of accessing any of our coaching experiences, meditation experiences, please do message us in our social media pages, which is BDJ Power Planner or Beldager Power Planner or crazyaboutpaper.com. So ayan, may sign up link na tayo sa Finding Joy webinar ni Coach Karel. So go.ilovebdj.com, Finding Joy webinar. Yay, thank you so much. Nakaabot, Coach. Ayan, thank you guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this session. If you know anyone who needs a bit of joy this start of the year, please do share this Facebook Live. And sharing is caring, guys.
Mhm.
So, thank you guys. Thank you, Coach Karel.
Thanks,
Good night,
Dar.
everyone. I will just show.